What's up, my boy? This is
good?
episode 7, if I'm not mistaken. Episode 7, man. How you feeling?
Excited.
Excited.
Back to be back.
Go ahead, let me dap you up here, quick. Yeah. So, welcome to UndefeatedMindz podcast, where we represent elevated innovation over ignorance. I am your boy, Deshaun, and I got my boy,
Mr. Shotter, Mr. Stepper.
Yes, sir. So, we back at it, man. We been getting a little
pushback.
Put a little pushback from talking about fathers and girls in their cars,
Bonnets.
all that stuff. But I like it though.
It's good.
I like it.
We
though.
appreciate y'all. Because that mean y'all watching. That mean y'all critiquing us. And it's going to get us better. Because at the end of the day, we in this thing together.
We in this thing to stay. As you guys see, man, we growing a little bit. We adding some little things to it.
Little modifications.
You get what I'm saying? So, y'all know what it is, man. But what was something that stood out to you as far as in the pushback that you got when it came to like the whole episode of the things that your father should have taught you?
To be honest, everything I said, ain't nobody really say anything like back to.
Ain't nobody DMing you about
Nah,
nothing?
like it was like they watched the video and they was like, "Hey, we like what you saying. Like we like where you going with it. I don't agree with it 100%, but I see your side." You know, it seemed like people actually taking more heed into what I've been saying lately. I did have a few people that has like selective hearing, of course, hearing what they want to hear. As far as in when you said the thing about it's a man in her life type stuff, and she was like, "I ain't got no man. I had a daddy, but still, that's a man." Like they not hearing the whole thing. They just heard man, and they heard in your life, and they mean, you know what I'm saying? They feel like they can't be independent and self-reliant or whatever. But I mean, that's it. Other than that, I told them the same thing. Like, pay attention to the video, open-mindedly. Don't try to be so narrative and make your own false accusation of what we saying. You can't you can't predict what we saying until you listen to us. You know what I'm saying? And even then, like, you have to get to know us more before you can ever be able to really predict us. So, but how you feel? What about the pushback on you, bro?
I got pushback a lot actually, because I was talking majority of the time anyway. So
Yeah.
but I like that pressure. You feel me? It's cool. I've had a few people rebuttal me about the skills that people should bring to the table as far as I'm looking at relationship as a business. I posted on my Instagram, exclusively on my Instagram. So if you don't follow your boy, go ahead and follow your boy on Instagram. All the links will be in the description below. You feel me? Go ahead and check that out. But I specifically said on my Instagram that love and support is not a skill that'll make you valuable. You know, to the marketplace when it comes to like business.
And this is from a business standpoint, not a relationship.
I tied it into a relationship, like how I look at it, because it's like you gotta look at things like a business deal. Everything is about a deal, and it's about an interaction and a transaction. So you can get the best situation out of your whole thing.
Correct.
And I tell people, put that love and support stuff to the side, because love and support can be bought. But what makes you skillful, and the only way you're going to be able to develop skills is through personal development, which I said that on the last episode. If you want to go listen to that more, man, go check it out. But that's what I said, but I got a little pushback on it, and they were trying to say that love and support is a skill, because not everybody know how to love properly, which, you get what I'm saying, everybody express love completely different, and everybody's support completely different. My pushback was, you know, a teacher, you know, is a skillful thing. How you teach somebody is a skill, because 3 different type of ways, multiple type of ways you can learn, but there are mainly 3 ways that all people learn. If a teacher know how to adjust to that a student to properly teach them, that's a skill.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what that was. And then I got another little pushback as far as in like what she said? She said she believed that men, not all women with a full tank of gas and the check engine light on and all her tires is full, has a man in her life. And I'm like, you know, Like, what makes you think that, you know?
Correct.
So then she gave me her rebuttal, and she was saying, like, as an independent woman, there are a lot more independent women out here and less dependent women out here because of men don't know how to take on that role to be able to take those responsibilities.
The leadership role.
Yeah, that leadership role. And I was like, that's hard to.
She hit a nail on the head right
yeah,
there. Yeah,
like you can't really say she wrong at that, because this what this podcast is all about, to be able to help develop young men into men, you know. So to become an undefeated mind is to be able to capitalize on your mistakes.
Correct.
And not belittle you for your mistakes, but to be able to take that accountability and capitalize on the mistakes. So my only rebuttal to her would have been, because I wanted to have a deeper conversation with her, but we never got into it. But my only rebuttal, if you're watching, would be, are you willing and open-minded enough to be accepted to a man doing that for you? Because even though there might not supposedly be a lot of men that know how to do the leadership roles, there are men out here who do that, but then they get shunned for doing what they're supposed to do. You get what I'm saying?
But then again, it also goes into the teacher factor. You kind of said it's different ways of, well, you said it's a limited ways of teaching people. But, I mean, yeah. But it's also, like you said, articulation, like being able to precisely look at somebody and to lead. So it's different ways of being a leader.
Yeah.
Multiple ways. And just because that person is leading in a way, that might not fit you the type of way for you to follow it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how most women are probably going to try to have a pushback in when they get to that. And even with me, like, it's certain leaders I didn't take to, not saying they weren't good leaders. You know what I'm saying? Like I think I said it earlier, like Kevin Samuels. Like, you like Kevin Samuels as a great leader. Like, he's a great mantra to follow. I look at Kevin Samuels, like, I like him. I feel like he's a great leader. But it's not somebody I could just see myself, like, you know what I'm saying, going to on a day-to-day basis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I look at Kevin Samuels like this, and this is the part where I want majority of the people to look at Kevin Samuels like. I'm not emotionally connected to what he says.
Correct.
I care about the result of what he say. And the end result of what he say is saying, if you act this way, this is going to be your outcome. And in sales or any form of business, if you do a certain thing, you'll make a certain outcome. That's how I look at it. It's all about the outcomes, the results. And in personal training, it's about results. If you eat this right amount of calories at a deficit, you'll get these results. And if we have to adjust, we can adjust. But as long the main goal is to get these results. The issue is everybody is getting caught up into what he's saying and how he's saying it, and not caring about the end result. Same way how you were saying selective hearing to, oh, you heard what you want to hear.
To rebuttal.
So now to rebuttal, to respond. So now you didn't get the message. The message is, if I am a high value, if I'm a valuable man, I'm not going to say high value. If I'm a valuable man, if I have skills developed to be able to bring value to the marketplace, to my spouse, this is my end result. If I don't have no skills or no value, this will be my end result. I will end up dying alone, or from a man's perspective, I'll end up keep crying that women ain't shit, and I can't find no good woman because she don't want to submit to me, and she don't want to do all of these things, versus working on self. Hearing somebody say, you need to work on yourself, you need to take care of your appearance, you need to take care of your financial standpoint, you need to be able to develop some skills to work on yourself, so you have none of these excuses that all of these people are coming up with, saying, why women don't submit to me, why don't I have enough money, why don't I do this, she don't listen, she don't do this. It's all about self first, bro. And if you don't develop yourself enough to be able to eliminate those excuses, you'll always have those excuses as a roadblock or a hump. He just capitalizing on people's excuses. When he find your issue, he key on it. That's great. That's great marketing too, because of negative energy. But 3, You get what I'm saying? If I can find a problem about you and I can focus on that problem about you, one, it's gonna make you uncomfortable, and two, I get more content from his perspective. You get what I'm saying? So I look at Kevin Samuels like, if I do A, B, C, I'll get D. But if I don't do A, B, and C, I won't get D. I'm gonna get another answer. How to avoid that? I play chess for real. It's all about the moves ahead, fruition, thinking, having foresight. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing things before it happen. Picking up on energy, which was this topic is about negative energy and red flags.
Correct.
If I can see based off of human patterns, I point out to y'all all the time, the books that I read, which is The Power Habit and the 48 Laws of Power. And my favorite book is The Law of Human Nature. You take those books and you combine all of those together and pay attention to how people respond in a certain way and understand that the human brain is a computer. We only move based off of habits and what we program into ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's consciously, subconsciously, don't matter. As long as you can key in on the patterns of people, why do you think they study us? You know what I'm saying? They take on certain things. They watch how we respond. They watch how we react. And then you be hearing the phrases of, out of 100 men, this, that, and the third. Because they studied the average man, got 100 of them, studied them. And then out of those 100, it's going to be like this. They're going to take it to the next 100. Then they're going to see, is it the same result? If it's the same result, that's all based off patterns. So you can be predicted. You see what I'm saying? My whole concept is think before you move. So if somebody give me a result, if somebody give me a book and they say, if you read this book, you can have you can live a free life, a free financial life, rich dad, poor dad perspective. You see what I'm saying? If somebody say, yo, if you work out like this for the rest of your life, you'll live healthy. You know what I'm saying? Your penis will work still.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? I'm going to be like, let me take that in consideration and do it. But you got people out here who got to learn and make the mistakes, whether the books were laid out for them, whether somebody told them, whether it's on video, don't matter. On a podcast, it don't matter. They got to go out here and find the shit on their own and do it by themselves. Most people have to bump their head because of why? Motherfuckers got daddy issues. Motherfuckers got father issues. Can't sit here and accept what somebody is telling you, giving you constructive criticism to make you better, not understanding somebody's intentions, or not being able to have the ability to see whether or not somebody's giving you good advice or somebody giving you bad advice based off of what they do. You know, like how you said last time, research the researchers. Don't just take our word for it. You know what I'm saying? Go into looking into these books that we talk about. Go look into the people who we say and who we refer you to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I said all that to say, because I just did a word vomit. I said all that to say, you know, I just pay attention to detail well. And I use Kevin Samuels to see what the end result would be. That's all.
That's a good way to put it. You know, after listening to it,
study
and listening and then studying, and then also being observant, and that he said the topic, how he looks at the connection and being able to depict not emotionally from somebody, but to look at it from a business and a positive standpoint. You always want to be keen and sharp, and sometimes you have to take your own personal opinions and beliefs, not throw them away, but put them to the side to be able to receive what somebody's saying, so you can look at it and to be able to study it and be like, before I react, let me see, is this really let me test it out. Let me see if it's really like this. Because sometimes it could be, and sometimes it could be just complete bullshit. But until you actually look at it for what it is and watch it, you'll never know.
Discernment.
And yeah, that's all it is. And so we had a few people last night that mentioned the word discernment to me. And as a person, I can look at it when somebody says that word to me. my first thing is to somebody when they say a word that I not really familiar with or I don't really use often. It's not a part of my normal vocabulary.
Right.
I say define it, because your definition of discernment should be very, very. If you don't have to use the dictionary vocabulary, because I want real life experience. I want to know if you really know what this word you just used, and can you break it down to me in an example that's relatable to me.
Yeah. So you go ahead. Sorry.
And not, I mean, relatable, but to articulate it in the situation.
To make it make sense to
To
you.
make it make sense. Because like I said, you have to, public speaking is always going to be a skill, but you can't expect people to listen to you, and you can't expect people to understand you and to really follow you if you don't know how to read the room and to deliver it.
Yeah, articulate
it. And that's why even when you get to talking, sometimes I'm like, yeah, give them an example, bro. Like, let them know where we coming from, because I feel like a lot of people want to be on that level. I feel like a lot of people want to be with you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of people want to be with me, but until I be able to, let me break this down to you so you really see where I'm coming from. They're like, oh, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, like I said, you gotta know how to articulate those words and express that to them.
Yeah, I mean, I go back into what I was saying from the last episode, which is developing a skill. To be a teacher, to be able to break it down to somebody, break down something difficult to make it seem simple is a skill, bro. And then teach it to that individual who don't understand what the hell you talking about at all. That's a skill, bro. And I don't think people give enough credit to people who can do that. Break down what the hell you talking about in a way of, okay, let me help you understand. Because one, that's patience, which is a skill. Two, you got to be able to articulate it in a way for them to understand it. Which I was watching this one podcast where the guy was pretty much breaking it down how people learn, and you can pay attention to this, or how you teach people. And you hear me say it all the time: if it makes sense forward, it makes sense backwards. So, some people are like the person who you tell them once and they get it. Like, let's say we in a classroom, right? Classroom setting, you got the people in the front, the people in the middle, and the people in the back, right? The people in the front are the people who you see what they doing, they see what you got going on, and they can get it. I'm not saying that's 100% accurate, but I'm saying, like, that's just what it is.
Hypothetical, like theory.
10% of people who making it A's, those are the type of people who you tell them what to do, they get it. But then you got the other 10% of people who making B's. They're the type of person you got to show them what to do. You know what I'm saying? You write it on the board. That's what whiteboard is for. They write it on the board. You take notes, and then as they're writing it down, they get it. You get what I'm saying? But then you have the person where they have to come up and then do the problem themselves, or have examples, meaning hands-on. They're that type of learner. Not everybody learn the same. So if a teacher can be able to break that down to each student and figure out however that student learns, that's an incredible skill.
So basically, verbally, okay, visually, and then trial and error.
Yes.
So, yep, because I agree that way, because I'm really one of those. I mean, when you first get exposed to anything, I have to see it. Okay. I have to see it to make it make sense in my head, and then I have to try it. And then after I try it for so many times, then when I can just sit down and you can talk the whole problem out. I'm like, I know what she's talking about.
I know exactly what I'm talking about. So you went from the second to the third one to the first one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody's process is completely different, because that one person can't always be like the person who get it the first time. They might be hella book smart, have no
common sense.
You know me, I don't like to call it common, because it ain't common. They ain't got no sense, no street smarts, or just no everyday basic knowledge of self-awareness. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you tell them what to do, they'll do it. They're great managers. You tell them, you give them a guideline, they'll follow it. But the creative side of them, of just making things make sense, I have no clue why I don't fire. But motherfuckers just don't get that in their head. Like, again, I don't like to call it common sense, because it's not as common as we think it is. It's just you have no sense. You have no sense of self. You have no sense of the street awareness. You have nothing. You don't know how to plug up a goddamn game system, but you know how to calculate everything when it comes to certain numbers and shit like that. Like, that's just how certain people function.
Right.
But if you can accept the way that they function and you can adjust the way that they function and be able to, be their opposite side of what they lack. Now you bringing value to that person. I'm gonna hire you because you can calculate numbers a certain way that I can't. So you're valuable to me. I'm gonna marry a woman who knows how to cook and clean, because at the end of the day, if I'm always working and moving, you know what I'm saying? I need somebody to make that easier for me. It's not the fact that I don't want you to slave, because technically, if I'm out here being a man, I gotta go out here and provide, which I highly recommend all men should provide. That's just my personal opinion. This is my opinion. But all men should provide. If I'm doing that job, that means you need to do this next job to make my life or situation or that transaction a lot easier. But with that being said, man, we're gonna hit an intermission real quick. Y'all heard that bell.
Check into the music. We're gonna have it timed in.
Yeah, man. Y'all hold that thought. All right, welcome back, y'all. We just had to do a intermission real quick. But instead of going back on what we was just talking about, we want to roll over into today's topic and current events first. So let's get into these current events, bro. Now, people been matter of fact, you got it, bro. I was just talking a whole lot. I want you to talk about the current events and what's been going on.
The women's track. Shout out to Sha'Carri Richardson. Shout out to Miss Cambria. That's what it is. Sorry, Miss Cambria Sturgis.
Yeah, from A&T.
And it's a few other athletes down that way, young men that was doing some things. But
yeah, 4 of them qualified to go to Tokyo. And then say her name one more time. Sha'Carri Richardson qualified as well.
And she broke FloJo record.
Yup. And everybody was talking about her and stuff like that. So we just want to give her some credit and some kudos. Those 4 guys that did what they did. It's another person at Livingstone HBCU, which A&T is an HBCU as well, that qualified to go to Tokyo as well. So they representing hard when it comes to the talent that comes out of HBCUs.
Shout out, y'all. We need it. We want to wish y'all nothing but luck, the best, and we want to tell y'all we're extremely proud of y'all.
For sure.
Because I know we be going and rambling on, but we still want to give y'all some encouragement and to tell y'all to keep pushing forward and continue to prove people and the naysayers wrong. Because people like us and the people that come from those type of levels are still fighting upward. It feels good to see people like us that's like-minded, that's winning, that's getting what they deserve. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. And Sha'Carri Richardson, I said it right?
Yeah.
Her a lot of people was giving her pushback because of the way she looks, from her nails to her makeup to her eyelashes to her wigs. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, we even talked about the Bonnet Chronicles. We had the Bonnet Chronicles and representing your culture, representing you, self-respect and stuff like that. But one thing about it, 2 things for sure. I'm never going to get on here, or this platform will never be a platform to be able to belittle women in a way, or men in a way, in a negative light. You get what I'm saying? Like, we might give y'all pushback as far as in accountability and self-respect and having self-reliance and not believing in that independent bull crap. You know what I'm saying? And taking care of yourself, hygiene and value. We gonna give you pushback in these red flags that we about to hit on, but it's coming out of love, not coming out of hate. It's a positive energy and not a negative energy. And what she been getting, dog, is nothing but negative energy, saying like she might be a man, she might be just she cheating and she doing all this other stuff. I done seen some people label her in LGBTQ.
Bro,
I done seen people. Dog, like all that shit is unnecessary,
it
bro.
doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? Like that's her own personal preference. Whatever she do, that's her. Let's just commend her on her accolade and her achievement. She just lost her mom.
A
week ago.
Her biological mom.
Her biological mother. And she said it in her interview.
A week prior to that race.
A week prior to that race.
Yep.
And she said it in her interview after her race. She understands that she cannot let her emotion get in front of the objective. And for her to put her emotion to the side, I feel like a lot of men could look up to this. Because this is a woman that's standing on this platform and saying, I'm going to put my personal emotions to the side to get the mission and to get my objective, what I worked so hard for, done. And she didn't use that as an excuse. She used that as fuel. And so feeling her energy on the camera, and watching her, bro, she got a strong aura. And I'm talking about, it's like, it make you want to get up and go run. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I ain't no business. You got me.
You got me. I know I can't out. We probably get on the track because I got a 10-8 in me.
Listen.
10-8, 10-7.
My thighs too big for all that, baby.
What's up,
Anywhere else?
What's up?
Holler at me. That running shit, you got it.
But for real though, on a serious note though, it motivated me, and I want you to know that Deshaun and Shada, we support you 100%.
The Undefeated Minds podcast, 100%. I'm not gonna go ever on another platform or go against the grain when it come to, them versus us. No, I always tell y'all, what do I say? Together we stand, divided we fall. I truly believe that. Like, I stand on that to the end, to the death of me. But here's the catch. And here's what I gotta say about this negative shit that she getting back. Cause I'm gonna get y'all people pushback. You hating ass. Nah, I'm just saying, I ain't gonna go that far. But I'm gonna get y'all pushback for the people who do that. The mere fact that y'all can take something positive and try to turn it into a negative thing is the issue that I got. But I got to give my own self pushback. We run off a negative world. We run off of negative energy. We run off of negative publicity, because any publicity is good publicity, but negative publicity pushes you a lot faster. A lot of people didn't know what she had going on, or the mere fact of how fast she was, because she was doing all this shit in LSU. She was doing all this stuff in high school. You know what I'm saying? She been doing stuff like this. Like, she has been running like this for a minute now.
Correct.
But the mere fact that everybody's starting to compare to FloJo, everybody's starting to say she look ghetto, long nails, all this other bull crap, it pushed her fame and notoriety a lot higher versus her just knocking out these accolades, having all these accolades and knocking them out and achieving all this stuff. And you get what I'm saying? So positive energy go like this, negative energy go like this.
But all that's doing is turning a name into a household name.
Right. So all you people who think that you winning for creating a negative, turning a positive into a negative, you really losing, honestly.
But I mean, that's how you know you're going in the right path.
When people can create a negative out of a positive.
People gonna say, cause your hat pink. People gonna say whatever.
He might be.
Yeah, but even then, you're gonna lose friends. People not gonna be with you no more.
I like women.
People gonna hate on you.
I love women.
You can be running in your lashes imperfectly. I feel like it look good on you. I feel like whatever you wear, I feel like if that's just you, that's how you express yourself, that's what you do. But everybody ain't like me. Everybody ain't like us. Some people just sit behind Twitter, the desk and computer, and antagonize.
Dumb warriors.
So that's it. But we let them do that because only way they survive and live if we acknowledge them.
That's very true. To be able to focus on something is to be able to give it life. So if I'm not worried about it, if I'm not worried about you, if I'm not crying over no spilled milk, like I always say, then you can't affect my life. You vibrate too low to touch me.
You're a crowd. I'm gonna say, not a crowd. I'm gonna say you are a scum, a low life. Because if I can nitpick at everything that you're trying to do to better yourself and when you get that stuff that you work so hard for to get, and I can still find something to, but they ain't do it like this and they ain't do it like that. I ain't doing nothing with my life, but watching and trying to make somebody else feel bad about what they just accomplished.
Because you low-key insecure.
I'm insecure by myself,
Yep.
so I want you to feel the way I feel. Misery loves company.
Very true.
But fuck them.
And I feel like, you know, I'm gonna take it there. I feel like that's why, and I don't believe in hope. I'm not the type of person that believe in hope. I believe in results. Hope is manipulation, in my opinion, because you either you gonna do it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? This is the issue why the black community is not growing, because you got so many people that's so negative within our own community and want to be the king and want to be the top tier and whatnot. As you see, like, this table is circular. You know what I'm saying? We even. You bring something to the table, I bring something to the table. It ain't like I'm sitting all the way at the end, and then as you know, you lined up on the sides, and I'm the big boss saying this is how it's gonna be. Even though we live in a society where they rank you, which I accept the ranking, because that's gonna let me know I need to bust my ass and work a lot harder. Whereas in some people gonna be like, we need to fight for equality and shit like that. Man, fuck all that. If you saying that this is the top tier and this is the best, then I'm coming after the best. I want to be the best. I only face the best. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to study the best so I can beat the best. Like Tupac said it, he said, I'm going to find somebody who's greater than me, and I'm going to work my ass off until I can't call them great no more. I know I'm probably butchering what he said, but that's basically what he said. I took that on a long time ago, and that's just perfectly how I feel. So like with Ms. Richardson, she's super fast. But yeah, you faster than me for right now. For right now. But then I'm gonna come get this work. But you got people who always had that mindset to be able to say, okay, she fast this year. I'm gonna bust my ass all throughout the off season. So then when I finally meet her, yeah, we're gonna put that fast shit to the test. You feel what I'm saying? It's a competition thing. It's a friendly competition thing. It's not one of them things where I'm trying to be destructive. It's just more so, how can I make myself better? Somebody's better than me at this skill.
As athletes, we always urge for that anyway. That's what give us the passion.
Yeah. No, I feel like most athletes go off of negative energy, and this can kind of go into our hot topic for the day. So, what do our time look like before we get into this?
We got 9 minutes left.
We can keep rolling real quick. You feel me? So rolling over into the subject of the day, which is negative energy and red flags. We talking about athletes, so we're gonna kind of keep it somewhat similar on athletes and roll it over into everyday people. I feel like most athletes feed off of negative energy for no fucking reason. Think about what I'm about to say. Every athlete or rapper always focuses on the teacher or the people who didn't support them, the teacher who said I ain't gonna never be shit, or then that's, you know, the athlete always say, you know what I'm saying, I'm doing this for the people who didn't believe in me. Dog, you had a whole city, you had a whole community, you had a whole football team believing you, or a whole team believing you, or a whole people, the producer who believed in you. You know what I'm saying? The people who said, oh, that shit was trash, bro, you need to go ahead and rewrite that because that ain't it. You had all these people telling you.
You had a support somewhere.
But you choose to focus on that negative energy. Why? It makes no sense to me. But it makes sense to me because a negative energy is a powerful energy. It's not just the fact that it's just a bad energy. Where there's good, there's bad. You know what I'm saying? Where there's a positive energy, there's a negative energy. How you think we got these lights and stuff? Low frequency, high frequency. Just because it's a low frequency don't mean it's powerful. It's not powerful. It is very powerful.
I get that, but I mean, also, could that fit into when you said the athletes they didn't believe in me? Can that be used as
fuel?
Fuel, but also as a propaganda tactic too. Because I mean, technically. Because like I said, like I know a lot of athletes that went to Alabama, and for all of the running backs I noticed, now some of them had come from a hardship or that sad thing right before they go to the NFL, and then they display it. And now people, they got a better understanding of their history, and then they take a liking to that person.
I mean, if you're aware of that and you use it to your advantage, yeah, I could see how you could say like propaganda. For instance, like who is somebody who created an image like a bad guy that's not really a bad guy. That's like
Soldier Boy.
It's like a manipulation of propaganda. Like, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you can say a lot of rappers straight up and down, they so hard and they this that and the third. They out here did this that and the third. But then when it come down to it, they really not about that life. You know what I'm saying? That's a form of propaganda, but they use it to their advantage because they was aware of it. Whereas in athletes, if you're using that fuel to your fire, then we finally make it where everybody supports you. Then what?
I feel like this kind of ties into, I made this my own opinion theory that I came up with.
So it's just an opinion.
Yeah, from my own what I think
experience.
Hear me out.
This is anecdotal.
Because now this is how I feel. Most athletes, mainly football players. Because we are in equipment, fans are not up there and close in person seeing us. So we have to, after we score or do something, we have to get up and jump around.
Want to be seen.
Point at our name.
Girl.
Still don't see our face. Most guys that's in college, high school, thrive off that because I got all eyes on me while I'm on this field. And then when I take a normal picture, I don't get that same amount of likes. I don't get that same amount of feedback. So it's like I feel like they are using that platform to low-key seek for help, like to tell people like, this is how I feel on a normal basis.
But that's a negative energy. That's a red flag, bro.
It is a red flag, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like a lot of athletes use that. How many posts have you seen when guys take a picture in a jersey and then they write a whole paragraph saying some of the worst, like the roads that came from the concrete didn't, like you just said, nobody didn't believe in me. But if they take a normal picture, they don't get that same amount of likes. They want to use that
to their advantage.
To hear somebody.
So
they're
using negative energy to create something positive,
to something else.
But again, you can get addicted to that. Like, you can get addicted. That's what I'm saying. When you finally do, when that fuel run out and you finally do make it to the top tier, the 1%, the NFL, they are the 1% when it comes to football. When it comes to the NBA, they are the top 1%. You know what I'm saying? They are the guys who make it. Whether they suck, whether they've been in there for a year, whether they've been in there 2 years, the mere fact that they made it, you're in the top 1%. Now, you're not the 1% in that bracket. You're not in the Hall of Fame in that bracket. They have their own ranking. As you see, the top NFL, top 100, who's the best basketball player, this is that and the third. You might have been the best basketball player in the United States to be able to make it to the NBA, but you're not the top tier in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Once you make it there, you can't keep saying, oh, motherfuckers not going to support you. You can't run off a sports analyst saying, he sucks. That's what they supposed to do. You get what I'm saying? They supposed to say, now I'm going back into what you saying, propaganda, but I'm going to use it against you. I'm supposed to not like you if I'm in the NFL and I'm a sports analyst. I'm supposed to make catchy taglines, headlines, and stuff like that. I'm supposed to exploit all your negative energy. And if you use that negative energy to fuel you, eventually this shit gonna stop. Then what? Versus you looking at the numbers saying, I want to be the best I can possibly be ever.
I would just feel like it goes back into what we said, like you allowing somebody else to control you.
Yeah, you're controlled. That you're again, negative energy is a form of control. If I can manipulate your energy to make you believe that you are feeling a certain way based off of my own opinion, dog, you are my bitch. I got you. If I can make you act out of character, I got you, dog. I won. I use it to my girl. You know me. I'll call Margaret quick. Girl, why you acting like that? And you be a grown man, I still call you a girl. Because if you're acting like a female, I'm going to treat you like one. Girl, we don't do that around here. Now people going to be like, oh, you discriminate. It's not about that. I don't do that. But I'm not going to argue with you. That ain't what I do. I'm not going to sass and go back and forth with you. That ain't what I do. Those are female tendencies, dog. I don't do that. I'm not about to sit here and, y'all, pull your britches up. You supposed to act like a man. This is and a third. Cool. I know how to express my emotions. I know how to express how I feel. But I'm not going to sit here. There's a difference between venting and complaining. If you catch me complaining, you better say, girl.
Yeah, I mean, but complaining again. Venting can roll over as in, hey, bro, I'm going through this, boom, boom, boom.
Yes.
Getting it off your chest,
yes.
Letting it be known. Now, if I've been talking about this same shit for a week,
and you ain't did nothing about
and
it,
I ain't do anything to change it, that's complaining.
And now you're a negative person.
You're a negative person.
And I need to cut your ass off.
So, that's what the difference of that is. But those are also red flags. Like,
that's my point.
Like, you have to be able to identify, you have to be able to see it and rekindle it. And like you said, with those posts and going stuff like that, the red flags be in a normal day basis. I think we all use that toxic side and display it, but you have to know when it's good for you and when it's negative. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be honest with yourself and know if you doing this for attention or if you doing this for you really feeling some type of way. Like most people post on Instagram or social media about their emotions because they want attention, not because they're seeking help.
Right.
Now, there's a difference between when people who go through suicide, they'll show you signs like, hey, I ain't talked to you in forever. You done disappeared and you ain't been saying nothing. You get what I'm saying? Like, what's been going on? You ain't been acting the same. You've been real quiet. These are red flags that you need to be paying attention to for people.
Actually, it's opposite. But to rekindle what I was saying was the opposite of most people that we would say suicide awareness, if we want to tag it as that.
Not even just go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I mean, just saying like that, like you said, most of them are. What did you say exactly? Like, so I can make sure I'm addressing it the right way.
I basically was saying, as far as in the post, what are you posting for? Are you posting for attention or are you posting to seek help? For real, for real. Most people post for attention instead of posting to seek help. So you'll notice the difference from attention versus actually seeking help. Whereas in people who do like suicide stuff, and don't quote me, this is not 100% facts, but what I'm saying is majority of the people who do things are thinking about suicide or stuff like that, which is a red flag, and these are things that you should pay attention to. They'll disappear. They won't act normal. Like if they're an out loud person, they won't act normal. They're just gonna be quiet, or they'll duck off, or they'll just isolate themselves, and they'll do certain things that you be like, that ain't normal. Like what you doing? You gotta be able to pay attention to. You gotta know them and be able to pay attention to, those flags, because they might be trying to seek help, or they'll tell you, listen, you know what? I just been feeling like, fuck it. It is what it is. They're not gonna blaster how they feel like that. Some people do. Like we live in a different time period where people do blaster their emotions, and they can tell you. And then as when they finally do it, you go back through their social media and they be like, oh, they've been talking about this for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
kind of, sort of. I mean, I don't know. Like, I see that from that side. And like you said, it depends on that person. Because I also seen it from somebody that was on and off.
Being happy.
But not even that. Always happy. But the thing of it is, when it got to that point of them being suicidal, and they actually committed suicide, when they got to that point, they were more active.
I was just about to say, I'm not saying all suicidal.
No, I'm not saying this is just my own thing for me, because I'm like what I seen, because you got it from your site, what you seen it as, and I'm saying it from my site, so we both be on the same. Yeah. And it's like I seen it, a person like go from act normal, and then they just start posting, doing more, going out, being more productive, being more outgoing, and it was like,
and then all of a sudden,
it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't seen that from your perspective. I didn't seen it from like this side, and it's like you really don't know, like you said, until you pay attention to a person. And that's where it goes back into like being observant and knowing somebody and knowing those flags, knowing somebody. How well do you really know someone?
Do you really
know that person? Because in order for you to really know somebody, you have to be able to see them at these 3 points: their highest, their lowest, and when adversity really is against them.
And that part, and when they got the ultimate power.
Right.
If you really want to find somebody's character, give them power. Make them feel like they are the best. Make them feel like they're important, and see how they handle it.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the 48. That's in the 48 laws of power, but it's also in the 33 strategies of war too. Give them power.
So those things right there, like, and I mean, I'm kind of glad that we're attacking this from all angles. You know what I'm saying, with the red flags. Even though it seemed like we didn't say the exact word of red flags, but we're trying to give y'all examples. It's like being able to, like I said, be complete. Like, just be very observant and be keen to watching what people say, knowing if somebody is malice or having an ill will towards you or anybody else. Because, again, a lot of times it's all about a poker face, and a lot of times people got great poker faces. A lot of times people know how to think several moves ahead or do different things. But if what you said, whatever happens in the dark comes into the light, if you know you're doing everything you're supposed to do 100% correctly, but
you're leading
by
with
somebody.
Yep, the power of intention. It's a book.
You're really living that life, and you didn't miss out. They missed out on the opportunity with you. But just those red flags that we're going to continue to go more into depth into and to get you guys to understand a little bit more.
Yeah.
How would you what's a red flag that you have been exposed to? Let's bring it back to us. What's a red flag have you been exposed to? And
okay, I'll do this. I posed the question on my Instagram again. Go ahead and follow that.
Okay.
When is the right time to cut off somebody from talking to you, like from personal time? When is butt hours? That's exactly how I said it. I said with a certain hour is butt cheek hours. If you contacted me after 9:30, then butt cheek hours. Cause why? I wake up early, so I go to sleep early. So I look at everything like a business.
Cause that's your personal.
Because that's my personal preference. Like some people's time period, and I posted on there. They was like 10. Some people was like 11. Some people was like 10:30. You know what I'm saying? Some people was like 12. Some people
still, like, you
2.
know, I go to, like, if they know you go to sleep, what you contacting me?
Right. Everybody's time period is different, which is okay. The red flag that I learned, because I created this myself. Accountability. I learned from my own mistakes. You know what I'm saying? A red flag for me that I had to realize, which was a red flag, was allowing people to contact me after business hours. Especially females when I'm dating or I'm in a relationship with somebody that contacting me after hours. So now here's a red flag. I gotta have my phone face down. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here hiding stuff. I got all my notifications and shit off. Because why? Ultimately, I know majority of these people are contacting me. Well, they don't even have to be contacting me on a negative thing. It's just I don't want to deal with her mouth. So I'm like, man, fuck. Let me go ahead and flip this phone.
Red flag.
But that's a red flag because then it make me look like I'm up to no good when I'm really not. And even if I communicate that, you know what I'm saying? I'm a personal trainer.
Right.
I'm a good looking fella. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how that lingo is rolling over me. I'm a good looking guy, you know what I'm saying? So I get attention, and I'm very aware that I get attention.
Correct.
But I didn't see it from her perspective. At that time I was dating her. Like, these girls don't need to be contacting you at this time because you know for a fact they're gonna try to roll over. They're gonna try to roll over
and
into this.
That'd be the same thing if it was a female. If you was dating a female,
that's what I'm saying. So that's the red flag that I oppose. That I had to learn from my own mistake, which caused the relationship to go to shit. You get what I'm saying? So yes, I can be on a platform to be able to say, dog, you fucked up. I didn't fuck up as far as it cheat. I fucked up as far as not giving her the security enough to be able to feel comfortable enough to feel like, okay, this is what it is and this ain't what it ain't. You know what I'm saying? With the flipping the phone and turning off the notifications and trying to do, and then
That's toxic. That's toxic,
bro.
man.
This is what this is all about.
That was toxic. I called it. I called it.
Did you not hear me say I'm taking accountability for the red flag that I created? I created that red flag. I wanted to be vulnerable enough, and I'm man enough to be able to say, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You learn from your mistakes. But how many people you know, and this is real strength, how many people you know can honestly say they can point out their red flags that they created and cause a relationship to fail? The majority of people
not many,
can't.
Bro.
It's not the fact that I cheated. It's just the fact that I didn't give the security.
Right.
But I started to lead into the things of flipping the phone, lying about, is somebody calling? Who called? Shada did. Cause I ain't want to hear this. I ain't want to hear.
Come on, man. It's
Fucked up.
work. But I mean, if it's work, it's work. But at the end of the day, I still see what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just those small little figures. But I tell people all the time, the only way you can really recognize something is if you was that.
Kinda, sorta, yeah.
Trust me, you attract what you are.
Yeah.
You attract what you are. I'm man enough to be able to come out and be like, bro, can't nobody ever come to me and say, Deshaun did this, that, and the third, and I'm gonna say, you goddamn right. And what'd you do about it? What did you do? Cause you're not gonna have no power over me. You can't hold this over my head and say, you did this. I'm like, yeah, I did do it. So what? And your point.
So
please let me go into this. Cause this is my point. I guess this is the toxic side out of me, but this is the reality side out of me. Buddy, current event that just got sentenced to 22.5 years
Derek Chauvin
in jail for killing George Floyd. The guy was trying to ask him, yo, so why'd you do it? Help me explain to me why you did it. Explain to me why you did. Who gives a fuck?
Nah.
What if he wait? What if he said, what would you gonna do? What would you do if he said, I did it because I wanted to? Then what? What you gonna say? He already been sentenced. What can you do? You can't do nothing but get in your emotions and say, oh, fuck you. You can't do shit to bro. So why even ask a dumbass question like that? So my point is this. If somebody try to come to me and say, Deshaun, you did this, that, and the third, I'm going to say, so? Can it be arrogant? Yes. But at the end of the day, I look at it like you can't hold nothing over my life because I'm very aware of the things that I did and I accepted the consequences that came with it and I took ownership of it to fix it. So now what you doing? So now I look at it like a red flag to you. Are you going to continue to hold this over my head? Are you going to continue to try to sit here and try to belittle me over my mistakes? Because now I can't make a mistake around you. Now I can't be, that let me know, no, you're not the one for me.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it steps. It's a stepping stone, bro.
I see what you're saying. I mean, then I'm looking at it. Do I completely agree 100%? Nah.
That's cool.
But, I mean, I just, like I said, so I'm going to go into my red flag.
Go ahead.
Of my toxicness of.
It's not even about being toxic. It's just about being aware.
This shit is toxic. I'm going to tell you steps. Because before I became business-like, you had to be. You got your hands dirty. But, man, like I said, like, my red flag things was, it was like, he said, don't let the paint fool you. I guess it was time. I like to, my time, like, I give good effort. I'm not a good texter. I'm a terrible phone caller. Like, I don't care about these things for real unless it's dealing with some type of money or learning something that can help me in the real world, because I don't want to get trapped into the propaganda and everything on it. But my energy and effort towards, I guess you could say, a relationship, like my communication skills on that effort was terrible. That will be my red flag, because you just came out with yours. You be like, yeah, you could have prevented that. But To go on to what you said about the Derek Chauvin, like I don't even know his name. I'm gonna just call him Buddy Man.
Man, fuck him, dog. Like
whatever. So I'm gonna talk about that, and I'm gonna end with something that I seen this lawyer said.
His name not even worth knowing.
The lawyer, some other guy too. I'm gonna get on your case too, buddy, because I don't respect that. But that asking about what was you thinking when you did it, and so if I'm looking at it from an undefeated mind standpoint that we always telling them to do, to practice this, I will understand your reason to ask, but it's like, again, why would you ask a question that you really don't want to know the answer to?
You don't want to know the answer? That's my point.
And the fact of it is, you got your answer, because people be like, it's like silence is an answer. Sometimes, like, no answer is an answer. No response is a response. Because I literally asked you why. You didn't pull your mask down. All you did was look at me and just blink. That gave me my answer. Everything that we have said, everything that we have thought about, it is true. You could try to get contentment with your heart and healing factors because you want to see that look a killer in his eyes. I understand the Warriors. I understand that, but that's your side. Now, the side part of me is like, I don't care. Like, you took somebody from us in a way that we can never get back, and you basically maliciously, effortlessly, and cruelly took away publicly, and it shows that you don't have no remorse.
Yeah.
So I have no remorse for you. Now back to your lawyer. No, back to the lawyer that said, in this healing factor, he had 22.5 years in this healing factor and manner. I don't give a fuck about no 22 and a half years. It's people fighting charges for petty crimes of drug charges and little fraudulent charges and doing minor petty stuff. It's you telling me just because my skin color is this, I can get a slap on the wrist for killing a baby.
Yes,
I can do all this other stuff. But if we sit around and move our kids to a different school zone for education,
I gotta give you pushback. Yes, bro. Yes. This is the part where I'm saying people are trying to fit into a white society going into Juneteenth. People have been celebrating Juneteenth. Now all of a sudden it's a national holiday. And people looking at this like we moving one step closer. No, you took them there 20 steps back. Why? From an economic standpoint, they can profit off of this now. They can profit off of something that you celebrate. People in Texas been celebrating this. So now all of a sudden that people want to sit here and say it's a national holiday, Juneteenth. No, bro. Y'all fucking yourselves. Why do you have to get a white man's approval for it to be okay? Why does it have to be approved by somebody of the opposite color of you or the opposite power of you for it to be something that you should celebrate? You should have been doing it from the jump. You fit again, it go back into what I was saying as far as in, what if he came out and said, man, I did it because I said so. We had somebody like that, Donald Trump. Everybody hated the fact that, I don't like his personality, but his numbers was making from a black standpoint, economically, we were doing better. We started to stay together. Black businesses started growing a whole lot because of why they had a bigger bad guy to look at, to fight against. So you should want somebody to come out and say, I did this because I fucking did it, and you ain't gonna do shit about it. What I said on the last episode, when it came to Judas and the Black Messiah, the government now they out here saying, yeah, this is what we did. We infiltrated, and you ain't gonna do shit about it. You ain't gonna do nothing about it. We are in America where the motherfucking government is bullies. The bullies win. You ain't gonna do shit to me. So why ask the question? Going back into what I'm saying, why ask the question that you're not ready for that answer? You ain't gonna do nothing to them. You ain't gonna do shit to him. Why are you asking these questions? You going back into living in the hope, a fantasy world. You going back and living into red flag. Here's another red flag that I hate. I strongly hate about these so-called kids who come from the hood and then go to college and then they act like they tough. knowing for a fact that you wasn't tough. You wasn't born that way. You wasn't even built that way. You grew up in a 2-parent home, and they supported you. You feel me? You ain't really go out here and have to go grind and go do all this other dumb stuff. If you feel me, for survival purposes, you didn't have to do that.
Correct.
Because I'm not gonna shun nobody who hustling for survival purposes. Dog, go get this money. You live in a system where it's against you, but just know what come with that territory. I said that multiple times. I stand on that. But at the end of the day, I don't stand on people who sit here and go out. You were raised in the suburbs. You was raised in a nice ass area. And then all of a sudden you come out and be, I'm a hood nigga. I went to college now. I'm a hood nigga. Come on, bruh. Come on, dog.
Man, you know, sit your.
You know how many people?
Sit your ass down, man.
We have ran into, and I want you to, and I want these guys to sit here and feel what the hell I'm saying. Because if you're hurt about it, that means I'm talking to you.
They ain't gonna talk about it, but I get what you're saying. When you was basically like the system and abide and expecting equality from a place that you're not gonna get it from. So I can see your valid point and your reason for that, and I strongly agree with it, because I'm like, I can't ask for rules to be applied to me when they weren't designed to.
It's called a system for a reason.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, that's the game that they got us playing. Yeah,
you got to be an undefeated mind. You got to understand the game that's being played. You cannot sit here and ask for the winner to stop winning to make you win, to help you win. What? No, that's not going to happen, bro. That's never going. That's hope. I hope one day you just cut off some of your hard work, earned money that we gave you money for. We did all of this stuff. We want to get some of that back. With that, what they call that, reparation. We want some of that back. Why are we still having a conversation about people trying to get reparations? Do you honestly think that the people who holds majority of the money is gonna give you money? Dog, come on, bro. I'm not here for that. I'm not here to play these emotional games or hope games and shit like that. I believe in results. I believe in reality. Let's come back to reality. If I'm winning, I'm not gonna let you win. We live in a ranking type of world. We rank each other. From Kevin Samuels blew up because of you're average at best. We talk about who's the best top tier basketball player, the best football player, the best tennis player, all of these, the best. We were just talking about the Olympics, the best. She made these numbers because of the best. The best win. That's it.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as in okay, so it's like, if we're looking at it from that perspective, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you want to look at it. If we looking at it from a systematic, or we looking at it from the best, the bullies are always gonna win. Like I said,
Thanos.
You know what I'm saying? That's cool, but it's just how do you want to go about it? You know what I'm saying?
It goes back into personal development. You got to be vulnerable enough with self to figure out all your red flags and where you fucked up at. Where you fucked up in life. Your parents fucked you up because they was being irresponsible and had sex, and then your father didn't want to be there and do all this stuff. They did irresponsible, so now they set you up for failure. Ultimately, they set you up for failure. Your parents fucked you up, so now you got to sit here and break all of those things that they did in order for you to become the best version of yourself. You have to accept that.
That's one of them things that people gonna have to hard pill to swallow.
It's a hard pill to swallow. My parents fucked up. They parents fucked up. They parents fucked up. You get what I'm saying? So are you gonna? And people like to label that as generational curses. No, you fucked up, dog. Mm-hmm. You was very aware of what you was going on. You was thinking with your dick when you was young. You didn't practice value in your vagina. You was out here loose with it. You feel me? Dropping these babies, dropping them draws, getting dick in your draws, and now all of a sudden, you don't want to take responsibility or accountability for self. So then you blame a system that is designed for you to lose. No, dog, that's weak to me. That's weak to me. You're weak-minded because you can't fix yourself enough to be able to say Let me fix the problem so next thing you know, the next generation don't have to go through the same situation. It starts in home first, and then you work your way out.
Yeah, but then it's just holding yourself accountable. So you never, if you're doing right and making sure. That's why I always go back to Nip, because Nip even said, he was like, I did rapping and stuff like that to make sure I had a legit way of getting money, a legit way of doing something. You can't be just out here loose with it, and then when the consequences of what your actions show, you get smacked with it. That's all it is. I mean, yeah, like you just gotta always be thinking. Like
you always have to think.
You have to put yourself in situations and understand what you're getting yourself into, because you can't be out here just doing anything and everything and then wonder like, damn, why this happening to me? Well, damn, this ain't fair for me, because you put yourself in that situation.
You did it.
So
a lot of y'all don't like that. See me, how I was taught. My mom was taught. My mom told me the point. Who? Them? Mm-hmm. Yeah, them, because I want you to know I'm talking about you. What you gonna do? You gonna walk up to me and try to beat me up? Come on. Because why should I? This is another red flag. I'm very authentic and I stand on my word. I'm not gonna say nothing behind your back. I'm gonna tell you straight up. If I'm talking about you, I'm gonna point it. I'm like, yeah, bro, you feel me? I'm talking about bro. Hey, bro, you talking about me? Yes, I'm talking about you. I saw that you fucked up.
And I
you did what you did, and I'm calling you out on it. What you gonna do? You mad at me because I'm calling you out on it? Oh, now you butt hurt. Dog, don't get mad at me because you was in the wrong and I just called you out on it. Either you can look at that as a good way. You can be like, I'm going to keep him around me because he going to call me out on my flaws. He going to keep me sharp. And he going to keep me up on my P's and Q's because he going to be like, nah, don't do that shit, dog. You tripping. The end result of you doing this dumb shit is this. You tripping. Versus you get somebody who ain't gonna never say nothing. They gonna keep behind your back, and then they smile in your face. Oh, what's up, bro? Da da da. Y'all heard Shadow was doing this and that? Yeah, fuck that nigga. It's pillow talking ass people. That's what this whole conversation was supposed to be about. That pillow talking. I'm not a pillow talking type of dude, so I'd rather point. Mm-hmm. Hey, I was talking about her. You feel me? Hey, you was talking about my girl. Yeah, bro, because you got her out here looking crazy. Why you make her put that on, bro? You tripping? Don't wear that. That's bad. Don't even do that. I'd rather have somebody tell me I'm fucking up versus somebody not tell me I'm not.
Yeah, let me know. Tell me what it is and what it ain't.
So everybody go out here, which is another red flag, and that's negative energy. Going out here giving out information because we information rich right now and we poor on time. Information rich, poor on time. I got that from the Future podcast. And marketing, you know what I'm saying? I'm very versatile. I like to listen to a lot of different things. But basically, everybody out here trying to throw so much information to sound like they are the best. They know exactly what they're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The reason why I pointed out my red flag that I created, that I learned from, is because I know for a fact that I don't know it all. And I'm vulnerable enough to be able to say I don't know it all, but I'm willing to open my mind to learn it all.
Correct. I mean, and I feel like that's how most people should be.
But they not. It's more so I know it all. Come to me, and that's what it is.
If I ask somebody and I say, and this is my thing where I cut somebody off completely, and I don't feel like I'm wrong at it, because if I ask you, I'm like, somebody like, you should listen to me, I'm never wrong. I immediately say, shut the fuck up talking to me.
If they say they never wrong,
they're never. If you be like, you should listen to me, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. I'm always right. Shut the fuck up talking to me. Yeah. I ain't got nothing to say to you. It's not. I'm not saying that you wasn't right on this part no more, but now I know you're conceited, and I ain't got shit I want to hear. You know what I'm saying?
Blinded.
You conceited with blindness, and that's not confidence no more. That is literally prideful, and that is ignorant, because now you feel like everything you do and everything you say and everything you have done is correct. Yeah. I know for a fact, even though with me thinking the way I think and me being advanced the way I'm still going to make daily mistakes. Yeah. I'm still going to fall short. That gives me my leverage, and that gives me my sanity to be like, bro, you could have did this better, or I could have done this better, or I could have been smarter. Now, insanity rolls over of me doing something the same way over and over and over, expecting me to have different results. I'm not saying to be insane. I'm saying to have enough sense and enough awareness to know that you're not going to always be right. and I can 100% look at something this way. A 9 and a 6 can look. If I put a 9 right here,
perception.
It's my perception. That's a 9, bro, but that's a 6 from your standpoint.
And you're not right.
And I'm not.
I mean, you're not wrong.
And you're not wrong.
Yep.
But the fact of it is, if you cannot come into a complete understanding of what's going on of a situation, we have nothing to talk about, because it doesn't matter how I give it to you or how I articulate it to you. You're not going to hear me out to understand where I'm coming from, let alone for me to even understand where you're coming from.
So I'll put it to you like that. Here's a quote that I want to read off. Only a fool learns from his own mistakes. The wise man learns from the mistakes of others. Okay, cool. So basically what you're saying is, which rolls over into kind of another red flag that I want to point out as far as in with social media in this so-called self-love, self-wave, self-care type of wave that I hate. It make me cringe, because self-care is only one step of personal development. You know what I'm saying? And people get it mixed up with self-reliance, meaning, you know what I'm saying? People, when they do self-care, they like to, how can I say, flip the scenario to make it seem like they're the victim in the scenario.
Give me an example.
Okay, all of a sudden you ended in a bad relationship, and all of a sudden, I did this because of this person did this. I did this. I'm like this because of this person. I'm like this because of that person. No, you like that because you choose to be.
How is that self-care? Like,
because then what they're gonna do is say, love yourself. Don't let nobody downplay your.
Oh, you talking about the alter ego on social media?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you came out of the relationship and you was the individual who caused the relationship to fail, you can't go out here and say, oh, I'm going to find somebody who value me and this, that, and the third, who want me for me, and I'm going to finally get a job that's going to know my worth. And what? How are you sitting here trying to say you going to work on self when you was the issue? You feel me? I seen another meme where it was like, a lot of y'all over here talking about saging, and then, y'all start itching. You the issue.
You say that too. Like, it goes back into, how can we say it? It goes back into sometimes you are what you
attract.
You are what you eat. You are what you attract, and the things you talk about, the things you hate the most, is what you.
It's what you become.
It's not what you are.
It's what you are and what you become, because you're consciously aware of the things that you don't like. So you move towards the things that you're conscious to.
But the only way you can be conscious of it is because you are that.
That's what it's what you're aware of. Okay, for example, when you drive your car, you might want a car. You might want a charger. You know what I'm saying? I got a charger. Before I had a charger and I was riding a Crown Vic, I saw nothing but Crown Vics. So I'm very aware of that. So I see it and I'm moving towards Crown Vics. No matter where I drive, I just see Crown Vics. Now I got a charger. When I drive a charger, and I was aware before I even got the charger, I'm like, I'm a manifest me getting a charger, because I'm aware of it. My conscience is like charger. So then what happened? I moved towards getting a charger. I seen them everywhere I went. So I moved towards what I wanted. If you focus on it, then next thing you know, that's what you ultimately are going to receive, because you're aware of it. But with that being said, man, y'all hold that thought. We're gonna be right back, and then we're gonna wrap this up real quick.
All right.
So yeah, basically being aware of what you don't like. If you focus on more of what you don't like, that's what you gonna ultimately attract. So when I be saying it's a red flag, you see all these people post on social media their emotions and their feelings, and this is what it is, and this is what it ain't, and they try to manipulate that self-care love to not taking accountability for their own actions or their own being the person who has the red flags. You know what I'm saying? How can you fix yourself if you're not aware of what the problem is? If you're not being honest to yourself about the problem, how can you ultimately fix your problem? You can't. So what social media does is give people a platform to be able to say, Don't worry about the problem. You not the problem. You a queen. Or don't worry about the problem, bro. You ain't gotta bust your ass. She should treat you like a king. She should cook for you, and you ain't provide nothing.
That's a lie.
Bro, my point. Red flag. Red flag. If can't nobody call you out on your bullshit, you need to be worried about them.
That have people around you that keep you accountable and also keep yourself accountable. But we telling people to be observant of those people that is doing that, because I'm pretty sure we all have somebody that we have experienced or known to play this role very well. You might fall guilty or subconsciously under it, but being able to identify first, knowing that you're doing it, is the first way to break it.
If you doing that shit, change that shit. That's the point. Like, change that.
That shit
That's not cool,
it's
bro.
Not, it's not sitting on that point. Like, you don't want to. That shit toxic, and it's low key. It's devaluing you. Like,
You don't know your own value.
yeah, like you not giving yourself a full range. Like, you're lying to yourself, creating this facade or this mirage about yourself. When deep down inside, you know you guilty. Like, you got a guilty mind. And it's eating you up, because now you're portraying this, that it's not your fault, when in reality it really is your fault.
You are the issue. You
Right.
are the problem. Like I said, we could point out the red flags to be able to be aware of if people do this, if people do that, if people do this. But that's not what this platform is about. The platform is about to become the best version of yourself. Think before you move. Elevating innovation over ignorance. Meaning, stop being ignorant to you being the problem. Fix yourself in order for you to be able to have better results of a life. How do you change your life? When you change. How do you get better results? When you become better. Don't wish it was easier, wish you were better.
True.
Strictly. You get what I'm saying? So that's basically what we wanted to come holler at y'all about. We kind of hit on a certain subject that we're going to talk about in the next episode, which was the mental health of men, but also athletes too. And I posted it again on social media. You know what I'm saying? Some statistics of men's health. And I think this is Men's Health Awareness Week. So, yeah, bro. So next
feel like
week,
that shit, it shouldn't be just 1 week though. I feel like that shit should be all year.
the same way how Juneteenth shouldn't be a national holiday.
This shit should be all year. Like, but we're gonna acknowledge it because they are trying to uplift it and start it. So more power to them about that.
More men need to come out and be able to express themselves. But we're gonna go deeper on that into. So man, y'all comment and let us know. We had some technical difficulties with a few things, but y'all comment and let us know how y'all feel about this episode. I know I'll be going on a tangent, word vomit. I do it all, but at the same time, I'm passionate about what I talk about because I care about black people. I'm just not gonna lie to you. I love you enough to not lie to you. I love you enough to be able to sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? What I need to sacrifice and tell your ass you fucking up. You fucking up, dog. Period. So
That's true. You know me, bro. I'm gonna step and I'm gonna tell you what it is, but I'm gonna do it in a nice way. But you have to see.
you got to see.
You got to see.
So with that being said, man, do y'all like my pink? I like this color. I like this pastel. It's good for my skin. You know what I'm saying?
My boy look like a pack of cream. And what's the little Skittle pack, bro? It's like a cream Skittle
I got
pack.
the Sour Patch colors.
Nah, bro, it's cream. It's like the
Easter egg colors.
Easter cream Skittle pack.
You feel me?
I fuck with it though. It look good on you.
I appreciate you.
But
Go ahead.
nah, but to everybody that told me not to get this hat, I got more compliments with this hat than I had before I had it. So, nah.
So with that being said, man, thank y'all for watching. We appreciate y'all. For the people who made it all the way to the end, please comment below a thumbs up or 100 sign. You feel what I'm saying? Just so you can kind of indulge into this algorithm to get us known. Go ahead and like it. If you like the video, go ahead and share it. If you like the video, go ahead and dislike it. If you dislike the video, go ahead and rate us. If you listen to this on the audio or whatever platform you listen to, rate us so we can actually get our rankings up, be seen, and get inside this algorithm to, spread this love and knowledge in our perception of things in life. It's very different from the masses of people in the industry of people. I'm different.
Bro, we love y'all. Can't wait to see y'all on the next show. Podcast.
So,
Audio.
with that being said, let's go ahead and end this out, dog. Together we stand, divided we fall. Fuck the middleman, you feel me? We'll holler at y'all. Y'all go out here and go get it on y'all own. Y'all see what we on.
Still.
Peace.